One of more than a dozen buyers of the F-35, Australia has well and truly bought into the excitement surrounding the fifth-generation combat jet. Earlier this year, Prime Minister Scott Morrison even took to the cockpit of one in a hangar at Williamtown Air Force Base near Newcastle, as the song Danger Zone from the Hollywood blockbuster Top Gun played in the background. But in the United States, enthusiasm for the jet is waning among some politicians as the program's costs soar. With a current whole-of-life cost estimate of $2.3 trillion, $1.7 trillion United States dollars, the chair of the Armed Services Committee, Democrat Adam Smith, said in March he wanted to stop throwing money down that particular rat hole. Former U.S. Marine Corps Captain Dan Grazier believed the line of critics was growing longer, as the combat jet failed to deliver on promised capabilities. The F-35 program right now is certainly a program in trouble, Mr. Grazier said. The last acting Secretary of Defense under the Trump administration, in a kind of parting shot in his final week, he essentially called the F-35 a piece of shit. Opinions divided over the F-35s. Pushed by the U.S. government and defense heavyweight Lockheed Martin, the F-35s were in the design phase when Australia committed in 2002 to buy up to 100 of them. The cost was estimated at $16 billion. Mr. Grazier has been watching the F-35 program for years as a military fellow for U.S. defense spending watchdog, the Project on Government Oversight. He said the combat jet currently had almost 900 design flaws, with 7 considered critical. He wanted production halted until all major problems were fixed. The Australian Air Force owns 41 jets, with 37 based at the Williamtown base. Issues over part shortages. The U.S. Air Force is in the process of replacing a crucial computer system that transmits F-35 health and maintenance information back to Lockheed Martin. Then in April, the U.S. government's Accountability Office told an inquiry that at current trends 1 in 8 F-35s could be grounded because of a shortage of engines by 2024. It said that would grow to 40% of jets grounded by 2030, if the repair backlog didn't improve. During a Senate estimates hearing in June, Air Vice Marshal Gregory Hoffman conceded spare parts were also an issue for Australia's jets. Some of the parts fail for the first time for reasons we need to explore, he told estimates. For the engines, it's a coating problem on some of the blades that the U.S. is experiencing. It takes time to get those through the shop and fix them. Under Freedom of Information, FOI, laws, 7.30 has learned that as well as engine issues, other problems on the F-35s include air leaking into the canopy, oil leaks in the auxiliary power unit and delamination of a wing flap. 7.30 also sought details under FOI of the cost per flying hour for the F-35, but the Defense Department stated producing this information would unreasonably divert resources from its operations. Mr. Grazier said the cost per flight hour in the United States was around $36,000. In a statement, the department said the F-35 project was delivering to the 2014 government-approved budget and schedule, and was the best-fit multi-role fighter for Australia. Defense Minister Peter Dutton declined to be interviewed. In February this year, 7.30 made a request to the Defense Department to film the F-35 in action and speak to a pilot at the Williamtown Air Force Base. The request was approved, with Air Force stating it was excited at the prospect of participating and that a senior Air Force officer would also be available for interview. But in June, with no explanation, 7.30 was told the filming opportunity would not go ahead. Documents obtained under FOI show the request was approved by the previous Defense Minister's office. But when Peter Dutton was appointed to the portfolio in March, additional information about 7.30's request was sought. Air Force provided a media preparation document with a view of obtaining approval to proceed from Minister Dutton. The document contained information about 7.30's journalist, analysis of general media coverage of the F-35 and a suggestion that Air Force participate to ensure defense messaging surrounding the F-35A is given best treatment. In a following email, Air Force media was instructed to tell 7.30 that defense was now unable to participate and to express regret for any inconvenience. Next week, Defense Minister Peter Dutton will travel to the United States to reportedly push for collaboration between the two countries on new long-range missile and unmanned drone technologies. In a statement, the U.S. F-35 Program Executive Officer Lieutenant General Eric Fick said Australia had been an active and vital partner in the project. The U.S. commitment to the F-35 is strong, the statement said. Our services are deliberately examining their future force structure. The F-35 remains a key feature in every one of those discussions. To respect that dependency, we remain laser-focused on continuing to enhance the capability, affordability and availability of the F-35. With the help of partners and customers, I have no doubt we will succeed.